Ever since he was a young boy, he learned to grow up tall. NorCal down to Long Beach, he's microdosed them all. Spends his show convincing anyone who'd call. That thin chin strap beard doesn't look strange at all. Won't buy cheese and slices or cheese that's in a wedge. Won't cook with cheese that's grated, that shit just makes a mess. Spends his show convincing everyone who calls. His thin chin strap beard doesn't look strange at all.
You like that? Keep on listening. Here it comes. Here's a big drop.
He's a cheese wheel wizard, but I don't think it's Swiss. The cheese wheel wizard, magic butter in his
Magic butter in his whisk. What do you think, Chef Matt? Is that the new theme song?
I like that.
Ohio, motherfucker! These motherfuckers think I'm from Ohio.
Oh,
That's crazy. So, we're gonna start off the Farm to Table Cannabis show. It's a good night for some medicating and some educating. We've got a full show set up for you. That was the new theme song from the DFZ super fanboy Upstate Grower. Shout out to Upstate Grower, one of the very first winners all the way back. He's been a real one since day one. So all love, buddy. Thanks for recognizing the chin beard. I won't shave it. I'm not from Ohio though, guys. NorCal raised, SoCal grown now. So we got a good show. Chef Matt's in the building talking CBD Sundays. What's good, Chef Matt?
Oh man, nothing much. What's going on with you, Dale?
Staying busier than a one-legged man in a cooking contest.
I can dig it.
So, and we also brought along Rico.
Young Reek.
This is your guys' third appearance in the DFZ radio studio, but this is our first appearance in the new Long Beach studio. So
Right.
We doing it right?
LBC.
Yeah, that's right. It's a little bit easier. It's a little bit better of a view out here too,
Yeah.
And so, as always, we keep you educated and medicated. This is Farm to Table Cannabis. I am the hydroponic chef, your chef's favorite cannabis chef. I'm out here doing my ambassador to the cannabis culinary industry, and it's been my pleasure to bring you these guests, and we like to update you with some news every week on top of the guests. So let's head over to Washington. Washington State is going to try to ban CBD in food and beverages, just like California. So this story's been updated, but it's already happened in New York and California. But now Washington, the state has announced a ban on hemp-derived CBD in food and beverage products as the FDA weighs how to regulate the popular cannabinoid. The regulations won't affect CBD products sold through licensed cannabis retailers, which are allowed under the state's separate cannabis system, but the ban outlaws all sorts of products that currently are widely available at grocery stores, bars, coffee shops, restaurants, and more. Whether the products are going anywhere is another story. The new state rules banning CBD as a food ingredient took effect August 1st, and the State Department of Agriculture, which regulates hemp products, is working to spread the word. But even with the ban in place, it's not clear that CBD food drinks will disappear from store shelves. Other jurisdictions that have banned CBD ingredients have little success keeping them from consumers. So in Washington, officials are signaling that enforcement efforts will begin gently, not as a crackdown, but as an outreach and education campaign. So, I mean, that's good. Do you know what your CBD you're getting? Is it clean? Are you supporting your dispensary or your local farmer? I think it's important to know what you're putting in your body, but at the same time, making it harder to access this product that has just become, revolutionary for some people. It's changed some people's lives, the CBD. And, I'm not sure that the only having it available in the CBD form from a cannabis dispensary is the right way to go. I'm not saying buying it from your local gas station. I'm not crazy about gas station CBD either, but I think there's some kind of middle ground here that Washington State needs to come to, because this shit's a little wild. So coming back to Southern California and Los Angeles, they're getting ready for their next round of licensing, and they got 100 retail permits about to go out. Los Angeles is the largest marijuana market in the world. Don't get it fucking twisted. It opened a 2-week window on Tuesday for qualified social equity applicants interested in getting a retail cannabis permit. The City Department of Regulation began accepting license applications at 10 a.m. on Tuesday and will continue until 10 a.m. on September 17th. The DCR verified over 1,600 qualified applicants for the latest licensing round during a preventing process and a more than 2 months finished back into all the way into late July, according to the agency website. So applicants that qualify for the city's social equity program will get priority in having their applications processed, but the 100 retail licenses will be awarded during the coming application period, and they'll be available on a first-come, first-served basis. So the newest incoming round will start to round 2 later. So first round was a long-standing retailers in the city that could prove that they've been in operation since 2007. The second was for companies with existing supply chains, such as growers and edible makers. And yet another upcoming license round will be open for the general public, but this DCR is yet to announce. So the social equity programs it's a big deal. You guys ever get fucked with for weed when you were a kid?
All the time.
You know what I mean? And like, there was a reason. I mean, you're a young entrepreneur, you know, and like, imagine all those other folks that actually had to do time getting put in, you know, jails, junior CYA, juvenile hall and shit over fucking cannabis. And now they're talking about, oh, well, maybe we should have some social equity in this system. Now, I don't want to say too little, too late, but fuck, dude, like, goddamn,
some bullshit.
Took long enough. And you know, while we're talking about social inequity and stuff, it's important to mention, like, you gotta look at this industry. If you were an advocate for this plant before it was legal, like, you were an advocate, you know, you laid the foundation. If you got arrested and you're sitting there and you're not in the industry now and you're looking for, I mean, now's the time, you know, so get back, stop playing this, oh, the world's a bitch, it's so hard to get in the game. That's what programs like this were set up for. Don't complain about the situation, be the change. So go in there, change the game from the inside out, because we're going to talk about corporate cannabis tonight with Rico, and you can't change things from sitting outside the goddamn Monsanto office with a fuck Monsanto sign, all right? You gotta do something and do some real good to change things, all right? Because I think there's a difference between just silently complaining and, you know, what is it, passively protesting. Cool. All right? So we'll get into that. And we're also going on with the news. We're going to go Washington, D.C. with this one. President Trump reiterates that the administration wants legalization to stay in the state's hands. The marijuana moment put this story out. President Donald Trump reiterated that Friday his administration is allowing states to set their own marijuana policies. As a press briefing Friday, the president was asked by D.C. Examiner reporter Steve Nelson that whether cannabis would federally be legalized as he was in office. And his reply was, we're not going to just get it going on. What's very big subject right now, and it's huge. It's a huge subject. We're allowing states to make that decision, the orange man said. A lot of states are making that decision, but we're allowing states to make that decision. So, I mean, that's really staying with the same Obama-era policies, where states get to make their own policies when it comes to cannabis. And unfortunately, in California, they let it go county to county, which gets even fucking deeper down the cannabis hole, because now we've got some counties that say, no, we're not allowing deliveries. So, no dispensaries, no deliveries. Some counties all the way up in the Central Valley aren't even allowed to access cannabis, let alone CBD at the gas station. Right. So we forget how cut off some of these rural states are too, and counties for that matter. Now, and as we continue, we're going to finish off in the South here in Southern California. Weed Maps is going to not issue a timeline for when they're going to stop promoting illegal cannabis shops. So if you're one of those businesses and you're doing your thing, Weed Maps has always been kind of flip-floppy, you know, like they run this weird line between we're for the culture, no, we're for corporate cannabis, no, we're for change, no, we want things to stay where it is. And I think this is another prime example of that. It's like, yeah, we want your advertising dollars. Yep. But no, we don't want to say we work with illegal people. Right. So, but we also won't issue a timeline saying when they will stop. So, fuck, I love that gray area. You got to respect that. We've been working on that gray area for a long time here.
It's a good color.
It gets you where you need to be when you need to be, right? Is that medicinal pot? Yeah. Okay, cool. You wasn't sure if that you was one of them stoners or not, because I'm lighting up at the fucking basketball game. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break. We're gonna play some ads. We might come back with some more jokes, but we got some serious stuff to talk about. Talk about healing, CBD, We're going to give away a magic butter machine. So 562-653-0707. You ain't got to pay nothing but attention. Call in to win. Farm to Table Cannabis, DFC Radio, High Times TV.
Drink in my cup, someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Side diesel in my blood, purple drink in my cup, someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Yeah, crank it up, crank it on up, crank it up. Sour diesel up in my blood, purple drink up in my cup, crank it up, crank it on up. That's D. Oh, that's D. Got me smoking the bass, no stress cheese. Now hold up, now roll up. Check the situation, about to go nuts. With a little bit of perk up in my cup. You could tell the bartender to fill it on up. That's alright, baby, work your stuff. And that's all night, baby, work your strut. You and your friends can ride when I go. Take a little spin in my Monte Carlo. Take a little dip, baby, show you how I roll. Take a little hit, baby, puff on the hydro. Eyes so lit, make me look like my eyes closed. Purple Drake mix, make me look like my eyes glow. Hypno Grey Goose with a little grape juice. That's how it is, so I'ma have to take side diesel in my blood. Purple drink in my cup, someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Side diesel in my blood, purple drink in my cup, someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Yeah, crank it up, crank it on up, crank it up. Sour diesel up in my blood, purple drink up in my cup, crank it up, crank it on up. It's the ADX team with no doubt in between, and we stay fresh and clean when we hop on the scene, and we style on them, profile on them. If they wanna act crazy, then we wild on them. It's the S to the T and that Cambo G, either Maserati blue or the Lambo green, and that Chevrolet mean when it drop on the street, either hating on you or they hating on me. And it's shaved up, raised up, drive it to the flow, got them blades that stay tough. And the candy on the bike, same color as sour. Catch me on the site 100 miles per hour. This is my life, so this ain't ours. So I stay tight, so this is power. With the ADX team, you could call us some brave hearts. Sour diesel trees, you could call it the trademark. Side diesel in my blood, purple drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Side diesel in my blood, purple drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Yeah, crank it up, crank it on up, crank it up. Sour diesel up in my blood, purple drink up in my cup, crank it up, crank it on up. West Coast, crank it on up. East Coast, crank it on up. Midwest, crank it on up. Down south, crank it on up. Yeah, crank it up, crank it on up, crank it up. Sour diesel up in my blood, purple drink up in my cup, crank it up, crank it on up.
SG, DJ Dale, Big Bam, Killer P, Chino with the OE, it's the ADX team. 562 Mob.
All right, we're back. DFZ Radio, Farm to Table Cannabis. We're back. So yeah, I'm the Cheese Wheel Wizard, hanging out. We got Chef Matt.
Yeah.
You know, the thing about being the big cheese is it ain't an easy job, but somebody's got to do it.
Somebody got to do
And
it.
I'm here every week with these guests. So let me introduce you to Rico and Chef Matthew.
What up?
Chef Matt, you've been doing it for many moons now, and this is the third time in the studio.
Think so, yeah.
And you guys, so first of all, if you didn't start off cooking with cannabis, you're a classically trained chef.
Yeah, but you got to remember, I was cooking with cannabis like in 92, 93, back when we had stress. We had the bricks, and you know, we was dropping the weed and the barbecue sauce, just letting it marinate and not even straining it.
But my point is though, is you took some of those, we're gonna call them hood techniques, and applied them to some classic techniques.
That I did.
You know, so you know, you went to culinary school.
I went to culinary school, yeah.
And out of culinary school, you get a job in the industry, and it's not like it's
no. You gotta slow down. You gotta remember, I opened my first restaurant in '97, fresh out of high school, and then when I decided to go to culinary school, I had a restaurant. So I would get up in the morning, go open up the restaurant, get everything going, then leave the employees there, smash off, drive to Santa Monica, go to culinary school, and then after class, right back to the restaurant.
And so these cats in culinary school, they're learning about that life.
Yeah, they were learning about it.
You were living that life.
I was living it. And that's probably why all the instructors, like Chef Sacco, one of the instructors who's with me a lot, he respected the hustle, because I would come in, they were like, "You smell like food already." And I'm like, "Man, I run a restaurant like 7 days a week. Like I do this.
I'm
for a living.
I'm grinding for real.
I'm grinding. I just came for the paperwork, because I wanted to teach and go further than just what I'm saying. So there were some things I wanted to learn.
So on to the teaching thing, because I mean, cooking has been a way to open up the world to a lot of people, and I'd say cooking really did that for you. In the places you got to travel,
right? Some
of the people you've got to meet. Now, talk about when you went from cooking food to teaching people how to cook food.
I mean, one of the things about being a chef is making everybody is good around you. You're no good to a restaurant if you're the only person that can cook at a high quality level. If you know what I mean, because
it's job security for some people, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to cook every dish, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to make the guys around me just as good as I was, and consistency. So it shouldn't matter whether I cooked it, the head chef cooked it, or whoever cooked it. It should be some kind of consistency. So I always prided myself in trying to challenge everybody and make everybody better, as well as I wanted to learn from, there were people next to me that were better than me at some things. And, I wanted to soak up all the game I can get from them and give them all the game I had.
So you get to that level where, you're dropping game, you're soaking up game. But then you started being implemented into, I guess you would call it to fix the kitchen, if you will, so you've had to break some egos in this chef world.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of motherfuckers out there in this cooking world, the real industry cooking world, just like there are in the cannabis cooking world, who are cooks, not necessarily chefs.
So different. I tell everybody, there's a difference between a security guard and a police officer. There's a difference between a nurse and a doctor. There's a difference between a cook and a goddamn chef. And there's too many chefs right now.
In the motherfucking kitchen.
Too many.
There's too many chefs acting like they ain't cooks.
Yeah, too many chefs acting like they're not cooking. You know what I'm saying? It's I don't mind, you can have aspirations, but, I didn't call myself a chef until a chef called me a chef. And I looked around like, you talking to me? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, wow. And the first time I heard it, it gave me chills. But I was never bold enough to call myself a chef before the title was given to me. But now, today, everybody has chef.
But you've been in the trenches. You've put your time in the kitchen. You've been yelled at. And now, you've been afforded that lecture to where you've learned, to where you've been able to give some of that back. So now let's talk about some of these kitchens you've had to walk into and change shit right out the rip. Because these weren't cannabis kitchens. These were I won't mention any hotel chain names or anything like that. But these are some well-known places where you were in charge of going in there and taking a fucking fucktard and turning them into a fucking polished shit sandwich.
Yeah, these were some multi-million-dollar restaurants, I've run. And, how can you explain it? It's just about, you got to break some egos too, but it's about, making people humble, if you know what I mean. And we can go about it two ways. I could, sit you down and talk to you and hope you get it, or I'm just going to embarrass the fuck out of you. You know what I'm saying? So it's however you want to play it, we could play it. But, I am the boss. I am in charge. You're going to do it my way. You can get the fuck out.
And you know what? In this world, especially in the cannabis world, everyone's told to be humble. All right? In the culture part of things. But I think there's one thing that when it comes to the cooking with cannabis thing, I've learned very quickly after food competitions, and dude, you've been a judge at some of my competitions, and you tell it like it is, man. And it might hurt people sometimes, but they need to fucking hear it, and you're going to be better because of it. But I forget where I was going with that. But it's about explaining the difference between cooking and being the chef. And Jay Rose, he's in here too. Shout out to Chef Jay Harley. He broke it down one time too and said that same thing. A lot of these cats out here are cooks,
most definitely,
trying to be chefs. And when you're dropping that knowledge, you're helping take some of those cooks. You might not be getting them that associate in hospitality management certificate, but you're getting them one step closer to being a chef. So shout out to you for doing the teaching aspect. Now let's talk about when the game changed from when you were just making brownies to actually cooking with cannabis on a on a culinary level for people.
Like I said, I think it all started back like in the mid '90s when we were doing like barbecue sauce. We were doing marinades and stuff like that. I had an uncle who used to do like olive oil, cannabis olive oil, and we used to go hunting a lot, so he would marinate like the rabbit and the ribs and stuff like that with cannabis. Yeah,
well, that's some serious gourmet shit.
Right, and I just picked a lot of it up from him, and then like I said, when I came back from overseas, I was just like, what's next? And one of my buddies was like, you should start cooking with cannabis again. I think it was gonna be big, and it took a little while, but here we are, if you know what I mean.
So from being you overseas, you were changing restaurants around,
right.
fixing the game, making sure people weren't serving out no more turd sandwiches. What was the cannabis scene like that back then when you were overseas and cooking with cannabis?
Really, there really wasn't a scene for it. You know what I'm saying? Like they had like dirt weed when I was overseas. It looked like stress. Matter of fact, when I hit a joint overseas, it gave me a goddamn headache. It was like smoking a beanie. You know what I'm saying? It was horrible. And,
so then the world of CBD blew up. And the new ever-changing industry. What made you want to, because, you came out with several companies. There was CBD Daily Eats.
Still got that.
And then there was the...
there was Ganja Eats
Ganja
first.
Eats, and then CBD Daily Eats.
And then was CBD Daily Eats. And how that happened was I was doing a sesh. I believe it was a taco sesh in Riverside.
Taco sesh,
yes. Taco sesh.
Shout out to the old school taco sesh.
Yeah. And some lady came up to me and she was like, do you have CBD products? And I was like, what are you talking about, lady? And she was like, it has all the health benefits, but it doesn't get you high. And I was like, lady, no such thing exists. What are you talking about? And so, I went back home and started doing my research and, found out about it, found out how I could get my hands on it, start playing with it. I had a lab connect, so, I could get like lab, tests at like half price because, I would go cater at the labs and stuff like that. So
Pass.
I would just make stuff. I and, I didn't have to pay the $150. It'd be like $60, $70. I would just trying different ways, techniques to get it to work the best.
What was it about learning and taking everything from THC and cooking with THC and applying it to CBD? A lot of listeners out there that, they got this question all the time. Same application methods. Is it that easy? Is it like for me where I'm growing, I can actually grow as good a hemp as I can grow cannabis?
Well, it depends. You have to look at what product it is that you're infusing because like sometimes you need, an isolate. Sometimes you need a full spectrum oil. Sometimes you need the actual hemp flower. It just all depends on what the product is that you're trying to infuse, and then you have to know which process is the best way to go about it. Because mixing oil and oil don't always mix. You're mixing something water soluble with something that's, it's just all about homogenization and shit sticking itself together.
All right.
So you got to understand a little bit of science.
It takes a little bit of technique to this, all right? Just like with cooking. Now, Rico, this is where you come into it. Now, the CBD thing's taken off.
Yes, sir.
And, I mean, you've been involved with multiple companies, multiple ventures, and you've, been soaking up the game for a while. But now it's time to start doing some things and promote your own brands.
Right.
And now the CBD Sundays was a perfect platform where gentlemen with your knowledge on the subject and the ability to advertise and bring people together, where it was kind of a marriage of convenience, not to mention, the best of both worlds.
Exactly. And I owe most of that to my partner right here, Chef Matt. He really schooled me to the game. The crazy part about CBD Sundays and how we got started, man, me and Matt, we were doing really nice underground parties, put it that way. And motherfuckers stopped. I can say motherfuckers on here, right?
Yeah, we're motherfucking
cool.
Good.
Yeah, motherfuckers stopped. They stopped paying or they stopped showing up. And this was it like early last year when legalization really hit the California market.
Yeah.
And it's like we got less and less sponsors to our parties than people wanted to pay half. Right. They didn't even show up to the shit. And they're like, what the fuck? Chef Mac, he got tapped to be the traveling chef for the CBD Expo. Shout out to Bradford and the crew over there. And he hit me up. He was like, they want me to do this cooking show. I don't talk. And I'm like, shit.
That's funny because he got a lot to say about other people in the industry and the things that he's seen too.
Right, and I was like, man, it's been a while since I MC'd some shit. I was MC for Backstage Pass contest for a bunch of pop artists. I went on tour with them about like 15 years ago.
Nice.
And I was like, it's been a while since I've been on stage, but you know, I'll do the MCing and you just chef some dope shit up and we'll see what we can do. We went out there and yeah, like Chef Matt did his thing. It was like riding a bike for me, getting back on stage and just talking to people, but I saw a brand new audience. I didn't really know much about the CBD world to that point other than, I mean, I knew the textbook definition of that shit, and I knew that it was starting to creep its way into dispensaries, but I just thought, like Matt said, it's like some weed that doesn't get you high. Like, why the fuck would anybody touch that?
I think if you said 3 years ago that motherfuckers were going to lose their mind for CBD and it was going to be bigger than THC and all that, people would have took that bet and said, no fucking way, I bet you it won't.
Right.
But
I kind of did, though. That's kind of why I kind of steered away and went the direction I went.
Yeah.
They'd been wrong because, like, you were right and we were wrong. CBD is a phenomenon right now.
Right.
Now, let's talk about CBD Sundays and how you guys bring all this together.
Yeah.
Chef, you're cooking there?
Yeah. I do all the cooking. You know, Rico does the hosting and, you know, all that, you know, dealing with the people. And it just allows me to, you know, Rico likes to talk.
All that dealing with the people.
Yeah, you know, I like to shut the fuck up and just cook and let people leave me alone and be in my zone. And Rico was great at everything else. So, you know, we often tell people it's a good combination because we both don't like doing the same thing. He likes to do all the shit I don't like to do, and I like to do all the shit he don't like to do, and that's kind of what makes it.
This goes back to that train of thought I was saying. You got to not be humble. And that's the thing. And that's where I was going was if you're going to be in this game, and especially in the cannabis industry, you know, there's a humbleness you have to be with the growers and stuff. But when it's cooking, you better be flashy. You better be a peacock, and your food better shine. Because there's a lot of people out here doing this right now, calling themselves chefs who are just cooks, but they got a lot of skills too. So it's kind of a toss up on both sides of it because if you a humbleness can get you far.
You know, I don't know, man.
But the peacocks are the most successful fucks right now.
But you know, I see some shit sometime, and the whole claim to fame is that it just got weed in it. But it's like, is it good? You get what I'm saying? And sometimes you could fool people just by saying, "Oh, this got weed in it," but it's like they overlook the fact that it's supposed to taste good.
Let's go down the list, all right? We're gonna take a commercial break, and we're gonna come back, and Chef Matt and I we're gonna go down the list. What's differentiates a cannabis chef from a cannabis cook? And we're back, DFZ Radio, Farm to Table Cannabis.
Get me in trouble.
Cookie.
Yeah, DFZRadio.com. Check this song out right here. Need One by Dooney Kush.
I
Let's
want
go.
a lot of things in this life. I want some things money can't buy. Like a girl who gon' keep it solid. Yeah. Like a girl who gon' need me one who gon' hold it down when I'm in a drought. Need me one who gon' get this cash when I'm running out. I need me one who gon' love this life I'm living with no problem. Hoes talking down, but my baby got 'em. Need me one, need me one, need me one. I need me one, need me one, need me one. I need me one, need me one who gon' hold it down, who gon' keep it real, who gon' roll my blunts when this shit get real. Yeah, 2-5 can't think I'm gone off loud. Top shelf moon rock, she keep loud. Snapchat booming, got the hating hoes trolling. Out in public, she wrap around my ridges like a rolling. Rolling and dough, that's what she do on the low. That's what she do when she high. When I need it, she provide. When I'm sober, she supply. Half an ounce to get me by. Double that up and now I'm making money on the side. Break her off before I slide like. Put that up on my dead homie. She ride for me more than the homies. Know I got dreams, I'm living in cars, but she don't look at me like I am homeless. She look at me like I'm a star. That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly what I am. Damn girl, you're so real. Need me one who gon' hold it down when I'm in a drought. Need me one who gon' get this cash when I'm running out. I need me one who gon' love this life I'm living with no problem. Hoes talking down, but my baby got 'em. Need me one, need me one, need me one. I need me one, need me one, need me one. I need me one, need me one who gon' hold it down, who gon' keep it real, who gon' roll my blunts when this pick up. When I call her, always on the go. Gotta get that dough. Talking about that bread. When I'm feeling low, she gon' come. Talk me off the ledge. Always on time, moving slow when I'm with you. I respect your grind, cause you always look out for your boo. And you hold me down, yeah, when I'm up, yeah. If I fall, can you be my crush? You so clutch. It's some real shit I gotta tell. Like, you the one I want, you the one I need, you the one I see at the other end of my wet dream. Like, splash. Need me one who gon' hold it down when I'm in a drought. Need me one who gon' get this cash when I'm running out. I need me one who gon' love this life I'm living with no problem. Hoes talking down, with my baby, got 'em by. Need me one, need me one, need me one. I need me one, need me one, need me one. I need me one, need me one who gon' hold it down, who gon' keep it real, who gon' run my blood when this shit get real, yeah.
Welcome back. Mike's live, Matt. You gotta watch what you're saying there, Chef. They almost heard you calling out names and shit.
I'll call them out right there.
Tell it like
Say
it is.
names.
Well, I mean, speaking of telling it like it is, man, we said we're gonna go down the list. What separates in this industry a cannabis cook from a cannabis chef? And I mean, is it the mother sauces? Is it having knowledge? So right out the rip, what's a
Let me just stop you right there. Anytime anybody calls themselves a cannabis chef, I don't feel like they have a real resume. I'll never call myself a cannabis chef. I'm a chef that cooks with cannabis and CBD. Anybody that calls themselves a cannabis chef is just hiding behind because they don't have any resume. Because all you're gonna have to provide is what few events you did. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yep.
So
Have you owned a restaurant? Where have you trained? Do you know?
Right. So anytime somebody comes to me, hey chef, man.
But what if I went to Oaksterdam University and I got my chef degree from Oaksterdam?
I mean, then that's look.
You're a joke. It's okay. You can say it.
Well, no, look. Going to culinary school doesn't make you a chef. It teaches you, a lot of the basics, and it teaches you the business side of it.
Not even the fundamentals, just the basics.
Because it's 20, 30, 40 people in the class, so they can't give you the individual attention that you need. But a lot of people think I'm going to go to culinary school, get out, I'm going to be a chef, I'm going to get a job in a restaurant, it's going to be glorious. But in reality, it's not, man. You're going to be working 6-7 hour days, 10, 12-hour days in a restaurant. And fresh out of culinary school, you're lucky if you make $15 an hour.
And you're going to be working long hours. Long hours. This isn't for the week.
Long hours, you know what I'm saying?
And now, if you can you call yourself a cannabis cook? And is that even something you'd want to say?
I like that. CC. CC.
Mm-hmm. And that ain't culinary and cannabis. That's cannabis cook.
Cannabis cook. But look, I'm all for people, being at a level and wanting to, elevate themselves and all that. But it's just like you can't call yourself a doctor if you're in fucking med school. You know what I'm saying? You can't. Certain things you can't do. And I just, want people to take their time and earn their stripes, if you know what I mean. Because the last thing you want to happen is get put in a position that's going to expose you not to be a chef. Because a real chef, no matter what the situation is, he's going to figure out and the guest and nobody's going to notice. Like everything could go wrong for me and the average person won't even realize that it's hell going on in the back. You
Cool.
know what I'm saying?
Cool hand Luke all the time.
After doing it for so long, you've seen everything that can go wrong, and you know what can go wrong already. You get what I'm saying? I've been in $1 million restaurants where it's a gas leak. We got to cut the gas off. Well, shit, we still got 50 people in here we got to serve.
The show must go on.
Show must go on. You know what I'm saying?
You've judged cooking competitions. You've cooked in cooking competitions. You've seen your fair share of disasters.
Yeah.
What do you think of the CBD market right now? It's fucked off trying to own a business or start a business or get something going in CBD.
Yeah, I'm starting to see like a lot of shit is like oversaturated. Like there's so many tincture companies, there's so many water companies, there's so many like the same shit, and it's like there's not like a lot of creativity going on, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. And everybody's looking at this shit like it's a craze or or a trend. And when people use words like trend or craze, I find it disrespectful because some of us like
That's our fucking life.
Yeah, that's our livelihood, and we care about this shit, and we've seen firsthand what it does, to help people. If like some of the testimonials we get from CBD Sundays after people eat. We get people that fucking hate their job.
Yeah.
Show up to CBD Sundays, and towards the end of it, they feeling better.
And they can go to work on Monday.
You know what I'm saying?
That's healing power right there.
Just the mental and anxiety, and all that shit. So,
I wonder how many mass shootings you guys prevented.
17.
So let's talk about CBD, and we'll talk about how hard it is to own a CBD company in a minute.
Definitely.
We'll come back to that and all get into your business shut down. But what can you expect at CBD Sundays? What kind of cuisine and how are you infusing it? And what the hell is in that bag? What's in the bag? What's in the bag?
I'll let Rico explain to you, what CBD Sunday is, and it's kind of like his brainchild. I'm just Scottie Pippen, and he's Jordan. If you know what I mean.
All right.
So go ahead.
So CBD Sundays is a monthly brunch experience. It's meditation, yoga, massage, and downstairs, of course, you have CBD infused brunch by my man Chef Matt.
So what kind of a cuisine can we expect?
We do a traditional brunch menu. We have waffles, we have pancakes, we have eggs, so we have an omelet station, eggs any style, bacon, sausage, and then other than that, the main dishes switch up. Sometimes I do carving, sometimes we did leg of lamb, sometimes we do.
He throws the fuck down.
Yeah, I'm the kind of dude, like, I cook based upon what I feel, and a lot of the time Rico gets mad at me because he wants the menu, but sometimes it's like I cook based upon how I feel, or sometimes I'm somewhere in a store and I'll see something that'll talk to me. So I kind of hate when I'm kind of pigeonholed by a menu, because I can make a great menu,
but the menu sells.
I know.
I'm the business side.
Right. But then I'll be somewhere and I'll be like, fuck, something else is talking to me, and oh man, I want to do this, and I'm just like, fuck.
Because you can't just do eggs Benedict every fucking time.
Right?
How about them egg Benedict in the coffee cup that one time I did?
I don't remember that.
At the Canna Chef Showdown. And he looked at me and he said you're gonna do eggs Benedict, ain't you? And I said, yeah, but I don't got a poaching tool, so I'm just gonna poach him in the fucking coffee mug.
That was smart.
He looked at me and said, you really gonna make that happen, huh?
Yeah, I really started to get some crazy shit that day.
Oh, well, you had to try like 4 other chefs, and none of us really were out. We were all cannabis cooks at that day. We were walking in there cannabis cooks, and you gave us that sideways look like, these motherfuckers want me to eat this
Somebody
shit?
gave us raw potatoes.
We had like 30-minute cook time, and they had microwave right there. They could have par fucking microwave those.
Right.
And that ain't even a bad thing. What's your opinion on the microwave, man? Can you use the microwave or not?
Oh yeah, man, I'll use it. I mean, if you need to. I mean, but if I have to, I'll fucking cook a Thanksgiving dinner with a microwave if I got to.
I don't care what anyone says. I still feel like a fucking baked potato, and the microwave is the fastest way to get me one of my favorite starches.
Tie that shit up in a plastic bag, tie it tight.
They look at me crazy, like, motherfucker, you're just gonna microwave like 12 potatoes right now? I was like, we only got 30 minutes to eat. It takes an hour and a half. Remember the Mitch Hedberg joke? I just throw a potato in. I don't know if I want it, but later, who knows?
Man, like you said, by any means necessary. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to get shit done, and it is what it is.
So you stay medicating folks. You stay educating folks. The CBD thing is it's live in effect now. CBD Sundays is it's a real thing. How many months you guys been doing this?
Rico.
We're on month 11.
So almost a full year down of brunches and CBD Sundays and educating people.
Yes.
Is there a milligram per menu you expect, or can you? Is it going to be variable every time?
So it's buffet style. So everything is pretty much microdose. But I kind of know how much people eat over the years of running buffets, and people generally don't eat a lot. Especially with breakfast food. So nobody's consuming more than like 20 milligrams.
Really? Okay. What would be a good dose for someone getting started with CBD? What is a good beginner dose?
It's been said that your body needs 20 to 25 milligrams to kind of even notice is there. From what I read. But I mean, I'd say like 10 milligrams maybe. For a new person.
Okay, so that's kind of like your intro dose because it's non-psychoactive.
Right.
I mean, I guess the jury's still out with some people. They think anything that makes you feel good and relaxed is you getting high. But
you know what I explain to people? It's not even a feeling. It's a feeling that you're not going to have anymore. So if you had anxiety, if you were stressed about something, if something was hurting. So to me, it's not about the feeling it gives you. It's about the feeling it takes away or doesn't give you, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Makes sense for sure.
it's about not having that stress during the week where you normally would have had it.
Right.
Having that anti-inflammatory in your legs to where
right.
normally your feet might have hurt at the
Right.
end of the week.
And it just doesn't anymore.
So what does CBD do for you?
Oh, man, you got to remember, I've been standing on my feet. I mean, I had bad feet. I had bad back. I had migraines. I wasn't sleeping good because, I was overweight. I mean, I get better rest now. My back hurts barely anymore. My feet not sore anymore. I got more energy. I mean, I'm taking CBD every day. I'm using my oils and stuff, and the shits. And you pick up something at my house, it's liable to have CBD or cannabis in it.
You better ask somebody before you eat that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But everybody kind of knows when they come to my
CBD,
crib.
radioactive zone.
But everybody within my whole family now is on CBD or one way or another. It's just kind of a lifestyle, and that's kind of why I went the way I went with my products, because I didn't want it to be like medicine. I wanted it to be more like a lifestyle, to where you're just eating it. It's not even a big deal, a second thought.
That's right. And Mo Buddy out there in St. Louis said it with his anxiety too.
Yeah.
I've been hearing that term get thrown around a lot this week. And I mean, I know the sisters go through it a lot, man. Right. I mean, it's a rough world out there. And anything that can take that edge off.
Rico, nobody likes to use the term. I don't like to use the term that I have anxiety, because it hints that, something is wrong with you. But there's a reason why I like Rico around. Rico thinks I don't like people, but I just don't like the spotlight on me.
Right.
And it just,
I can dig that.
And that's a form of anxiety, if you know what I mean.
When you're cooking, it's me time. I'm trying to, I'm giving you a service. I don't need to be in the spotlight in the radio like some of these other chefs.
Right. So
all up in the videos.
But that's kind of like
all up on stage. Right. Come to Death Row.
Right. But that's kind of why, I pass up on all the TV shows and stuff, because just the anxiety of me knowing that there's a million people. Your mind tells you it's a million people watching right now, even though it's only being recorded and nobody sees it but the cameraman. Right. But just the anxiety of it, fucks with you. So
lucky for you, no one watches this show. But Rico, you had a scare yourself. We're talking about self-healing and how the CBD can change life and change your outlook and change the way you want to talk to people. Now let's talk about your health scare and what CBD and cannabis was able to do for you.
So when I left corporate finance, I had a cancer scare. My father died of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I had a tumor. It ended up being benign, but I was the first one in my family with a tumor that actually wasn't malignant. So I quit that shit. One of my homeboys is a higher up of one of the biggest oil companies in the cannabis industry. He hooked me up with some people, got me on CBD. I have no signs of any tumors or anything like that since then. I'm an old football player. It's straightened out my back. CBD and acupuncture is pretty much the only thing that's ever worked for me, other than opioids. It helped me break my addiction when I was on pills off of those opioids from college football back in the day too. So CBD really brought me to a place where I didn't need to depend on opioids. It brought me to a place where I could actually normalize my cannabis use, right? And I didn't know that shit until I met this motherfucker.
See? All right. And see, you're continually changing lives, even when you're being passive about it.
Yes. I didn't like this motherfucker when I first met him.
Well, dude, you gotta realize, like, in this industry too, and in this world, too, humans are territorial creatures.
Yeah.
It's why we stink to other people. It's why you can't stand the motherfucking smell of some people. It's a pheromone in your body saying that motherfucker's crooked compared to you. You just don't click. But as long as a motherfucker don't just rub you the wrong way in your nose, I think there's always something we can learn from each other. And I think you guys have found a way to work together and really educate and keep people medicated using the CBD and CBD Sundays. We salute you for that.
Are you coming this Sunday?
What am I?
We're gonna put you on the spot.
What day? What? I can't really say what day because he just said Sunday.
I'm sorry, it's the 15th. It's not this Sunday.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's the 15th is really what's cracking.
Yeah, every third Sunday.
September 15th.
Rain, snow, or shine.
Yes, so we're definitely gonna get you an answer on that because I will be cooking with some CBD in full effect. But let's take a caller real quick. Who we got here?
Hope it ain't my baby mama.
Checked in yet?
No, I guess he's not checked in yet.
Yeah, he'll be on.
I saw a name pop up, so I got excited. I got real excited. We never know who's calling in. They got to screen these callers sometimes because it might be Chef Matt's baby
We got
mama.
John
If you
from Cali.
if you see Keisha, don't answer.
All right, Keisha, do I owe you? Hey, what's good, John from Cali? You're calling in. You got a question for Chef Matt? You do any gardening? You do any cooking with cannabis? What you do?
Happy growing. We got some indoor right now, some hydroponics.
Attaboy,
Nice.
attaboy. So you're doing your 6 plants, huh?
Yeah.
All
Out
right.
here in Cali.
What
Hell
kind?
yeah.
What kind of hydro system you rocking?
I just got I don't know what it's called, but it's we're running
Turn your radio
some
down.
animal cookies right now.
Hey, turn the radio down in the background and take us off speakerphone. It'll be better.
Yeah, we're running some animal cookies right now.
There you go. All right, all right. What kind of nutrients you rocking? Don't you say advanced. Don't you fucking say advanced.
I think it's the Geo line. I think it is.
Like General Organics?
Yeah.
My guy.
It's my favorite.
That's one of my top picks right there. Just because it's so easy to use and forgiving in soil. You don't even got a pH. So easy a fucking caveman could do it.
It's really cool. It's really cool. Not too not difficult or anything, you know.
So what do you use your finished product for? You cook with it. You make dabs. You make rosin. What's your thing?
Rosin. Send it out for the homies and shit and stuff to get to make some rosin.
That's right. There you go. Hey, for now on, what I want you to do is tell them to save those pucks because we're giving you a magic butter machine for calling in.
Nice.
You're getting hooked up on
Hell yes.
courtesy of DFZ Radio and Magic Butter. And dude, you can take those leftover smashed little nugs and you can put those in a jar. And then when you get a nice accumulation made up, you can use those as your material to make your butter.
Oh, what?
So yeah, you just got hooked up, man. You didn't have to pay nothing but attention, John.
Okay, cool.
Hell yeah. So
Cool, thank you.
stay on the line. But Chef Matt's got a recommendation for you.
Hey, and take some of them stems and leaves and drop them in a bottle of rubbing alcohol and just keep them in there. And when
Stems and leaves? What you say?
stems and leaves, yep. Put them in your rubbing alcohol, and the next time you get a cut or scratch or burn or anything, man,
Oh,
that
yeah,
shit makes you
man,
feel way better.
I'm Latino and shit, so my grandma be doing that.
Exactly.
A lot of grandmas do that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
An
my
old
grandma be doing
Latino
that
woman
since
told me
day
about
one.
that.
Man, that is the
OG
truth.
stuff.
That's
Right.
the one right there, and it
Most
gets passed down generation to
Real shit.
generation. I mean, fuck, that's how we found out about this shit.
Most
You know.
definitely.
Hell yeah, it works, though. It works.
Yeah.
And so you can do topicals in there. You can do edibles in there. You can do tinctures. So the sky's the limit for you, man. So we're hooking you up every Wednesday night in Farm to Table Cannabis, dfzradio.com.
Hell yeah.
So stick around. You can either shoot me a DM with your address and we'll get that mailed out, or you can stick around and talk to the screener. It's up to you. I'm putting you back on hold. You can listen if you want to.
All right.
Thanks for calling in, John from Cali. So yeah, it's always good to be able to give back with the Magic Butter machine. Super versatile machine.
Yes.
Those guys have been really big advocates about cooking with cannabis at home and
Yeah, shout out to
medicating
Chris.
at
Shout out to
home.
Chris and everybody at
Hey, they're a can of butter whipping now.
man.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Well,
Man.
I think what we'll do when we take a commercial break here in a second, Saint, maybe we'll play some can of butter whipping just because it's a fucking movement right now.
yeah.
Hey.
It's a
Chris
situation.
makes it happen. That's the thing. That's the thing. Like from the fucking bright suits
Yep.
to the goddamn magic butter machine in everybody's hand.
Have you seen him on the dance floor?
Bro, he can cut the rug too. And he's got, I mean, dude, his hair. He's got
Yeah.
the perm. Him, Austin,
Yeah.
Garen,
The hair is
everyone at
excellent.
Magic Butter Machine. I think it was a brotherhood. If you didn't have good hair,
Right.
you couldn't get in the clique.
Yeah.
So shout out to Magic Butter Machine.
Most
John,
definitely.
congratulations for winning yours. We're going to take a break. Farm to Table Cannabis. Let's get some can of butter whipping going on. dfzradio.com.
Go.
Still in the kitchen, counter butter whipping. OG no midget, got the whole house thinking. Still in the kitchen, counter butter whipping. Tempo 160.
dancing like Smokey. If whipping was a sport, I'm going home with the trophy. Tip on 160, it's about to go down. Got that boy cooking midget, told him throw it away now. Blowing up my balls and they just can't wait. Half an ounce of butter in a single piece of steak. Yummy, yummy good, have you singing like Drake? Drop the ice in the milk on me to counter butter shakes. Running out of product, this just can't be. I can lend you my machine, gotta buy your own weed. Chris hit me up, said the bots on the way. Now we counter butter whipping from the south to the bay. Still in the kitchen, counter butter whipping. OG no midget, got the whole house thinking. Still in the kitchen, counter butter whipping. Tempo 160, it's getting sticky. Still in the kitchen, counter butter whipping. OG no midget, got the whole house thinking. Still in the kitchen, counter butter whipping. Tempo 160, it's getting sticky.
Got a call from Ted, he said hurry up, they starving.
I'm about to whip it up, but first mustard carve it. Can of butter whipping, magical butter, what we call it. Helping people everywhere with all types of problems. About to make a tincture, need to find the proper solvent. Mix the herbs with the lipids, now we can of butter whipping. Finger licking, brick flipping, edibles got me tripping. Eyeball like I'm Scottie Pippen, reminiscing when we were experimenting. Hella turkey bash just to put my weed up in. Master Chef, yes, I'm the definition. Spread magical butter all up on my biscuit. Sauce dripping all on top of my chicken. Mix the eggs with the flowers, now I let it thicken. Most important room in my home is the kitchen. Can of butter whipping, then I do the dishes. Tempo 160, it's getting sticky.
Still in the kitchen, counter butter whipping. OG no midget, got the whole house thinking. Still in the kitchen, counter butter whipping. Tempo 160, it's getting sticky. Still in the kitchen, counter butter whipping. OG no midget, got the whole house thinking. Still in the kitchen, counter butter whipping. Tempo 160, it's getting sticky.
All right, we're back. Can of butter whipping in the studio
Whip
with Chef Matt, Chef Rico.
that song not.
That song does not suck.
That song slaps.
This should go hard.
So
Go hard.
the Heavy Tea Grow Show's coming up next. We had to turn the radio down. We were pounding a little too hard. So,
Hater.
but you guys come on at 7. It's about 6 o'clock. It's about to go down. We're gonna play the music even louder. We're gonna be smoking in studio. So Heavy Tea Grow Show starts in about 7 minutes. But in the meantime, we're gonna catch up with Chef Matt and Rico about CBD. Now, man, the CBD online game is fucking crazy.
Ugh.
It's like, it literally feels like the way people's Instagrams get deleted and shit.
Man.
There is a CBD police right now
Been there, done that.
in full effect. I've seen people go through name change after name change after name change. Is there a fucking formula? Is there a way to get past this shit? How the hell can we, offer our CBD products online and actually take payments? That's the second thing, is payments. How the hell can you take a payment?
I got a few tips. People aren't going to like it. My buddy Daz, I don't know if anybody's heard of a Hemp International, but he has a nice following on Instagram, and he was saying you shouldn't buy shit off Amazon. But the way Amazon and online sales work is, on your labels, it can't say CBD anywhere on it. So you have to put like full spectrum hemp oil and then amount of milligrams, and anybody should know hemp oil doesn't have any milligrams. So once you see the milligrams on it, you should. So they're making us lie to people to put this shit online. So you're confusing them at the same time. So when you see something online that says full spectrum hemp oil and it has milligrams, it really has CBD in it, but you just can't put CBD on the labels, or it can't go on Amazon and most online sites.
All right. Now, what about online?
Listen up.
Like payment taking opportunities? Is there? I mean, because dude, I'm gonna be honest. I did the farm to table meal club. That was my thing. Yeah. It was, I was feeling real optimistic about it. Right. Got burnt by the industry. Got burnt by CBD police.
They shut my
Yeah, they shut my shit down. I can't take PayPal. What do I do?
So I'm gonna help you with that. So I got a meeting after this. So my people are gonna give you a call.
That's it. He ain't gonna tell everyone else on the air. You don't get the free. You don't get the free consultation. Chef Matt, you want the first one's free. The next one's gonna cost you $350.
Yeah, the game is the beast.
And I mean, dude, because you talked about this the lawyer thing, the hiring. I mean, dude, you talked about getting bills quotes for like $30,000 to try to start your business just to talk to a lawyer.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. So I mean, one of the best advice I can give people is don't put anything like hemp, CBD, or anything like that in your title. Like even when I did CB Daily Eats, I thought wordplay CB Daily.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people say CBD Daily. And I'm like, no, it's CB Daily. But that's one of the biggest mistakes I made was that I put CB in the title, if you know what I mean. So, you know, shit like Mother's Harvest, Fields of Harvest. You kind of want to stay away from anything that screams weed or hemp because it's going to make your banking very hard.
And then what about a landing page that leads you to a different page?
So that's another one of the things, like, you know, I did was like, are we going to do tonight too, is like when you run ads like on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, you can have them go to a landing page that just kind of like have whatever you want on it, but then you can have big banners and everything that says cannabis or CBD. So as long as the first link doesn't have anything cannabis or hemp on it, you're good. And then if you have banners on that page that drives them somewhere else, technically you're cheating, but you're not really doing anything wrong, if you get what I'm saying.
Okay, so it's a loophole in the system, really what it is.
It's always a
And
back door.
there always is one.
That's the gray.
Right?
The back door. The gray, right.
The gray.
Huh. Well,
and stop listening to people. Like, I'm seeing shit online and on LinkedIn and everything, how to build your brand. And it's like, first thing you have to do is like, don't listen to everybody. Ask these people, what have they done and what have they been through? Because I'm seeing a lot of people giving a lot of advice, and I listen to it and I hear it. I'm like, you don't even own a brand. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
hey, cats giving out Instagram fucking lawyer advice and shit.
Right.
Like, hey, need to have in their fucking title on their IG page, not a real lawyer, but plays one in the cannabis community.
Right.
Like some of you cats are worse than Doogie Howser and fucking kids giving out fucking medical advice and shit.
I want to hear names.
No, Matt doesn't. Matt doesn't call out names. He just calls it like I see it because he educates them. But you know, there's a big difference between a cook, a chef, and a caterer.
There you go. There you go.
So we're here keeping you up to date every week. Rico, what's the next event you're doing, and how can people get involved?
Oh yeah, next week we have this fundraiser dinner for a Soldier's Play. And then we have CBD Sundays next Sunday,
the 15th.
The 15th. Not this Sunday, next Sunday, the 15th. Come on out to Rita House. My man Chef Matt is going to put out the menu. It's going to be crazy.
All right. And Matt, where can they find your products, and what's in the bag?
Oh shit, yeah,
Yes.
there's some shit for you in the bag. So these are my new. So these are the new Chef Matt products right here.
You guys always bring the heat. So we got the can of butter.
So we got this is the hemp butter.
Hemp butter
Right here.
Show them that branding.
Oh yeah, you want to see the branding? The branding
Yeah,
is
that's
cool. Check
Nice.
out the branding. And then here we have a habanero hemp. We have a habanero hemp honey.
Oh, that'll go great in some barbecue sauce.
Exactly.
That'll go in all kinds of things.
Look who's following us right now.
Yep. And then if you don't want the spicy honey, you have the regular CB Daily Eats honey, and we have a CBD coconut oil that's ready this morning. I just didn't have time to hit the warehouse and pick anything up.
So check them out at CB Daily Eats.
CBDailyEats.com, ChefMattCooks.com, Chef Matt 2.0, CBD Sundays. And like you can taste all this stuff at CBD Sundays, you know. So we always have the products out at CBD Sundays, and we only use CB Daily Eats and Chef Matt products, you know, in the food because I can vouch for it.
That's
you know
it.
What I mean?
You've been a great guest, Rico. You're doing it for all the right reasons. Check out CBD Sundays. The vape pen companies you got there too. Eureka. Shout out to Eureka.
Eureka.
Shout out to
Shannon.
Magic Butter Machine.
Magic Butter.
Big thank you to Saint. Big thank you to DFZ Radio.
Yep.
Yes,
And
sir.
other than that, we're out of here. DFZ Radio, Farm to Table Cannabis. You can watch us now on High Times TV.
Hydro make me feel fine. Hook up that hydro. Hydro make me feel high. Feeling so high. Roll up that hydro. Hydro make me feel fine. Roll up that hydro. Hydro make me feel fine. Hook